On this video, we are discussing the HTML attributes. As you have read from your practical manual, that all HTML elements can have the attributes. So it doesn't matter which element that you have, they can have the attributes. First of all, let me just try and explain the attributes in a simple way. If you remember that we have talked about, I've made an example about the government and the ANC, that the government, let us treat the government as if they are HTML elements. And then when we talk about the tags, we have talked about the ruling party, which is the ANC. So now we're going to the elements. So if we're still using that example, so if we talk about the attributes are what? Anyway, there are additional information about the tags. For example, the ANC is just an organization, but if you want more info about the organization, you are going to use its attributes. For example, the number of branches the ANC have, the number of party members, and so on and so on. So that is basically what the attributes are doing to the HTML tags. So I mean the HTML elements. So all the HTML elements can have the attributes. And secondly, as I have mentioned on my example, that attributes, they have the additional information about the elements. They are all the time, they are specified in the start tag. They are always going in pairs, like the name, which means the attribute name and the value of that attribute. Let me make another example. Okay, let us use this example. As you can see that ANC is our element. There is no HTML element that is called ANC, but this is just an example. So this is our HTML element, which is ANC. This is the opening tag, and then this is the closing tag. This one, which is red, is the element, opening tag and the closing tag. So according to this bullet point, they are specified, attributes are specified in the start tag. So you can see this is the start tag. Okay, my computer is jamming, but this is the start tag starting from ANC. I don't know what is happening with my computer. Starting from here to here, this is the start tag. And then this is the attribute. This is the first attribute. This is the second attribute. As you can see, that this just tells us more information about this ANC. I mean, this element ANC. So this is just additional information. So they usually go in pairs, which means the value, I mean the name of the attribute and the value of the attribute. So you can see that the first name of this attribute, the name of this attribute is branch. So the name of the attribute is branch. Then the value of this attribute is Alice. So that means that the branch name for this Alice element, I mean the branch name for this ANC element is Alice. And then the members, they have 900 members. And then, as you know, that in between the opening and the closing tag, we have the content. So you can type your content here. So this is how the attributes work. So I'm going to show you the real HTML examples. So we are going to look at the href attribute and also the src, which means the source attribute. Let us open our Notepad++. So we are going to create another file because now we are doing exercise number 2. So we are going to create another file. To create another file, you click here and then you can save even before typing as exercise2.html. Yeah, and then you type this, and then your title. Inside your title, this is exercise 2. You type exercise number 2, and then inside your body, inside the body, we are going to take a look at the href reference, exercise 2. I'm thinking of a way of explaining the href attribute. Anyway, the function of the href attribute, it is to link your current HTML file or page, which is this one, to other pages. For example, if you go to the website, let us open the University of Fort Hare website. And this is the University of Fort Hare website. As you can see that there are links on this navigation bar. We have home, we have about, and we have faculties. And then in order for you to be able to go to this web page that is called about, let us click here. You can see that the name of this web page is history.aspx. So in order for you to go from this page to another page that you can think of, let us go to governance. You can see now that we are on another page called governance. So you need an href attribute. So on the href attribute, you are going to specify the name of this page, which is governance, or UFH Foundation. You can see this is another page. So we are going to use an href attribute. But if you remember from our explanation here, that every attribute is used with what? With an element. So you cannot just use an attribute on its own. So you need to have an element whereby you are going to use your attribute. So in this case, so this href attribute is used along with what we call an anchor element, which means A, so that you can be able to go from another page to another web page to another web page and so on. So that is what we are going to try and achieve. Let me just type go to Fort Hare. Okay, no need. So let us create the element, the anchor element. So this is your anchor element, your opening tag, and then your closing tag. So this is the anchor element. So we are going to use the href attribute on this anchor element. So we are going to specify that on the opening tag. So just after the A, you give it a space, you type href, and then let us come back to our presentation. Remember that it should be the name of the attribute, equal sign, and then you open the quotation marks, the value, and then you close the quotation marks. So that is the syntax that we should follow. So href is equal to open and close the quotation mark. So this is the name of the attribute. This is the href attribute. So what do we want to achieve here? We want to link this exercise to HTML to the University of Fort Hare website. So we are going to specify the value, which means the URL. So let us go to University of Fort Hare. You just copy this URL, right click and copy, and then it should take us to this page, About Us page, and then you paste it here. You also specify the protocol, which is HTTP or HTTPS, And then we are done with the attribute. And then here in between the opening tag, this is the opening tag, and this is the closing tag. So in between, you enter your content, the text you want to appear. Go to about page of UFH, and then you do what? You save. Now let us go to our browser. Okay, let us go to desktop. Now we are on exercise 2. You double click exercise 2, and then you can see now we have a link that says go to about page of UFH, which means this is the text that we have typed in between the anchor, opening tag, and closing tag. So if you click here, let me close this one. So if you click here, you can see that it takes you straight to About Us page of University of Fort Hare. Let me make another example. I'm going to highlight this and then copy and paste, because I'm going to do something similar. Copy and paste, and then I'm going to delete this one, the value of the attribute, and then I'll say go to LBBS learn page, and then let us look for the URL for the LBBS learn page. Anyway, this is the URL. It's taking forever to open as usual. You right click and you copy. And you go back to your notepad, and then this is the protocol HTTPS. Sometimes it will be HTTP, sometimes you will have this www, sometimes you will not have it. So it is always better to go and copy it straight from the actual website. Let me close it. We are done. And then you save it, and then go back to where is exercise 2. You open exercise 2 again, and then you refresh. Okay, I think I didn't save. Oh, let me just keep a line so that the UFH can be on this line, then LBBS can be on this line. Let me also delete this so that it's LBBS learn, and this one is UFH. Remember that if you want to skip a line, you just type BR. But I think it is better if you skip a line first. Let me delete it. Skip a line first and type BR here, so that it will be easy for you to read your code. And then you save. You can see it is saved. And then you refresh. Then if you want to go to UFH, you can click here. But if you want to go to LBBS, you click here. So you can see that LBBS page is being opened. So one last example. Remember that at first we have created this page exercise 1. So we are going to link exercise 2 to exercise 1. So you skip another, you break another line, and then you type the opening tag and the closing tag for A, and then you type your age ref is equal to open and close, and then the value, it is going to be exercise 1 because you want to click to exercise 1. You type exercise 1.html. There's no need for .co.za or .com because this exercise 1 page is not hosted on any server. It is on your local machine. So that is why you have to specify the HTML. And then you can type here exercise 1, and then you save. Let us go back to our browser. Let us go back, and then you can see now we have exercise 1. Then you click on exercise 1. You can see it takes us to this document, which is exercise 1. You can also see here the URL is exercise1.html. If you go back, it will take you to exercise 2. You can see exercise 2.html. But if you click here, it will take you to exercise 1. But you cannot, exercise 1, you cannot go back to exercise 2 with a link, because if you open your exercise 1 file, you do not have the href reference on this web page, but you have it on this one, on exercise 2. Yeah, the next video I'm going to discuss the source attribute.